The liberation of mutant kind has begun.
Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown, Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark. Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What up? What up, what up, what up? It's episode 125, I believe. Nate is running a little bit late, so he'll be here in a minute. But we kind of did this last week where we kind of just jammed out, right? We just hung out a little bit, talked, chat, did some business. And I think we'll do it again, you know? Nate's got some stuff that he's taking care of, but he'll be here soon. So we're gonna fly a little solo here right now. Just Jim. And it's all good. It's all good. Everything's going to be great. Anyway, let's talk about some business, and then we'll get into this week's polls. Fantastic week. Fantastic week. And, you know, I'm sure Nate probably feels the same, I would hope. But you never know. Maybe not. What up, John? So let's just talk about some business, and then we will get to just chatting with the chat. Just a little bit of just chatting. And then when Nate gets here, we'll kick the show off properly and start talking about this week's polls. As always, our show is sponsored by Collected Comics and Games here in the DFW area. They are an amazing sponsor. Love them to death. Me and Nate go there every Wednesday or Thursday to pick up our books and our pulls, and then sometimes a little extra stuff. But they're great. So if you're ever in the DFW area, make sure to hit up Collected Comics and Games. They have 2 locations. One in Fort Worth and one in Keller. So if you're ever in the Fort Worth or Dallas Fort Worth area, make sure to hit up Collected Comics and Games. Well, make sure to hit up any of our amazing comic book shops here in the DFW area, but make sure to make it a point to go to Collected Comics and Games. Also, you're going to want to go over to their website, brainycomics.com. brainycomics.com is a great place to do if you're ever doing any online shopping, or you're looking to get somebody a gift, or you're looking for get something for yourself. You don't want to leave your home, right? You just want to order your comics and they just come to your house. Go over to brainycomics.com. You can go over there and you can order exclusive and variant covers, bundles, bad idea books, new comic books, mystery bags, back issues, graphic novels, games, toys and collectibles, and even trading cards, guys. I mean, they've got some crazy stuff over at Collected. I've got some stuff on order that I cannot wait to get in. But head on over to brainycomics.com and do a little bit of shopping. But before you check out, if you decide to do so, make sure to go up to this little search bar up here and type in 2 Fat Guys Pull List. And you press enter. Well, actually, you know what? We're just going to do it because I didn't already do it. Or press enter right here. Boom. Look at that. We've got 2 Fat Guys Pull List upgrades and premium upgrades. You're probably asking yourself, what is this? Well, what this is an upgrade that you put in your cart, right? If you put the $8 standard upgrade in your cart, when your books come in or whatever you buy at brainycomics.com comes in the mail, you will get 1 mystery exclusive cover, which we saw at the front of the homepage on brainycomics.com. If you do the premium for $15, you get 2. Now, if you go back over here, kind of look at some of the prices here, the standard is usually about $15, maybe $10 to $15, and then it kind of goes up to $30. And then even 50. It just depends on what you're looking at. But you have a chance to pick up or actually get one of these and/or an allotment of other ones that Ron has as store exclusive. I can't talk. Store exclusives over there at the shop. So head on over to brainycomics.com if you like. Do a little bit of shopping, and then before you leave, make sure to put that 2 Fat Guys Pull List upgrade in your cart, so you can get one of these cool, awesome variant covers. Now, again, you may not get one of these specifically on the front page, but there is a chance, right? Ron likes to, kind of pair things together. If you buy a lot of Batman books or a lot of DC, he might give you a DC exclusive. If you do some independents, maybe an independent or Marvel, yada yada yada. You kind of get it, right? So make sure to head on to ratingcomics.com, show him a little bit of love, and then let him know who sent you. Jim over at Two Fat Guys Bullis. All right. Also, guys, we are very close to getting to 850 subscribers. Last I checked, now again, this number fluctuates, but man, we have been going on a high right now. We are close to, we're at 819, I believe. Now again, it might change. Some people might drop off. Who knows? But we're at 819 subscribers, guys. We are so close to 850. And you know what we're giving away, right? We're doing giveaways every time we hit these subscriber milestones, right? When we hit 850 subscribers, we're giving away this 9.8 CBCS graded Green Lantern #1 store exclusive, or store retailer incentive, John Stewart on the cover. This is a sick book, guys. We're giving this away when we hit 850 subscribers. It's right around the corner. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and if you're watching right now and you haven't already hit that like button, hit the like button. Let's get those numbers up. We got to pump them numbers up, guys. So make sure to hit that like button. I know it sounds stereotypical of a YouTuber to ask you that, but you know what? It really works and it helps, guys. So, and I'm sure you like the show. If you've already subscribed to it, why not like it, right? You already have subscribed. You must like it. So hit that like button. Also, let's talk about it. We always do, but as we get closer, as we hit these milestones, which we have one at 850, we have one at 950, and then, because I'm so generous, we're going to hit, when we hit 1,000, guys, you know the drill. CBCS graded 9.8, Amazing Spider-Man #4, Original Sin tie-in, the first appearance of Silk. We will be giving this away at 1,000 subscribers, and it feels like we're actually building some momentum, right, to get there. Like, we've had a massive uptick in subscribers lately, and as we continue to move forward, it feels like we're gaining steam to the point where we might hit 1,000 fairly quickly. So let's hit 850. Once we hit 850, I'll show you what we're giving away at 950, and then obviously what we're giving away at 1,000. So that is the business. We're gonna wait for Nate, so let's just do a little bit of just chatting. Let us know down in the comments, what did you read first this week? What's your pick of the week? What was your least favorite comic? Let's talk about that. I think that's a worthy conversation to have. And we'll just chill. We'll jam until Nate gets here. He'll be here soon enough. What up, John? What up, Patty? What up, Scott? What up, Jaden? And what up, Calvin? It's great for all. I'm glad all y'all are here. It's great. I love it. This weekend was it was a little rough. My wife is an accountant, so she's smack dab in the middle of tax season. She's super busy. So I had the little kiddos all weekend by myself. But you know what? We made it through. Watched a couple movies. It was good. It was good. It was tough, but it was good. It was good. They tire me out, man. I'm actually exhausted from today. We did all kinds of stuff. We went to Barnes and Noble today and picked up a couple books. I got a couple mangas, which I'm pretty excited about to read. It is what it is. What up, guys? I liked the Women of Marvel special with She-Hulk in it. I enjoyed that too. It's not on the show, but I did pick it up. I picked up the A-Force cover. I liked the format of that book a lot, though. I liked how it was like a trial, and She-Hulk was kind of like, she was showing off what she had, but in her trial. But this cover is fire, dude. Love this cover. It was really good. What up, Stefan? John, Punisher, and Doctor Strange are my pick of the week. Also loved Damn Them All #6. Nice. Tell her thank you from all the workers who don't want to do their paperwork, right? Yeah, dude, she has it. Granted, so my wife has her own business, so she kind of does it. She's not working at like a huge. She used to work at a really big firm, but now she has her own business, so she's marching at the beat of her own drum. But still, it's still pretty heavy, man. Tax season is rough, so she is in the thick of it right now. But yeah, John, I got the Elsa Bloodstone cover for Women of Marvel. Nice. Scott, 2 of my faves this week: Doctor Strange, Ra's al Ghul, One Bad Day, and Darth Vader. 3, yeah. Dude, I jumped off of Darth Vader so long. I jumped off in the middle of the Padme clone or the Padme doubles, security doubles, and then it kind of just. But I know it's getting back up to. I know it's been doing well. Also, I don't know if y'all saw in solicitations, they're doing a black, white, and red Darth Vader, and Peach Momoko is one of the. I believe the first issue. It's like Daniel Warren Johnson, Peach Momoko, and like some other like the first issue is gonna slap for Darth Vader, black, white, and red. Like that's gonna be stellar. Loving this Sinister stuff. Yeah, man. Have you completely caught up, Stefan, or are you still a little bit behind? It's been fantastic for me. The only book for me on Sinister of the event is what's his name? Iceberg's book is just. It's hard. I thought the first issue was great, but the second issue was tough. I pre-ordered the exclusive Peach Momoko Darth Vader Black White. Nice. Calvin just finished Nice House on the Lake and don't know how I feel about it. I think Calvin, if you want to know my opinion on it, I feel like it dipped towards the end, and then I want to say the last 3 issues or the last 2 issues, it found itself. Right, it picked back up, and I'm excited for it to pick up. Like I'm excited for it to that we're obviously going to get a second arc or a part 2 or a second season. I don't know what you want to call it, but I am excited for it. But it was a little weird. Joe, hey Jim, where's Nate? Also, Punisher is my pick of the year. Yeah, I said the year. I hope y'all go and read the trades. We definitely will. A little bit behind still. I stopped before part 3. Gotcha. Nate will be on. He's just running solo right now. He's taking care of some stuff. He will be here soon. But we're just gonna do a little bit just chatting before he gets on. He'll be on soon enough. But Joe, yeah. So your pick of the year is Punisher. Is that? So I'm assuming that's your pick of the week as well. I guess that kind of encompasses it. This week is within the year. That's pretty. I mean, dude, we still have a lot of months to go. Calvin, I think I'm the only person on Walter's side. Interesting. I mean, I feel for Walter for sure. He's definitely looking for the right outcome in a selfish way. I don't think I'm against Walter in New House on the Lake or small, or was it? It's not New House on the Lake. What is this called again? Crap, I just had a brain fart and you just talked about it. Nice House on the Lake. I don't know. I enjoyed it. When it ended, it felt like genuine Tinian, whereas when there was like 2 or 3 issues in the middle or close to the end that just kind of like, what are we doing here? And I think it was the introduction of the 13th person who he was trying to keep alive by basically putting him off in his own house. I think that's when that got introduced. But I mean, it was obviously a needed mechanic within the book in order to get to the ending, but it just, the way it was executed felt a little sloppy. But after that point, and we got to where everyone became self-aware of what the situation was and they realized that they were being controlled, I thought it was good. It'll be very, it's very clear that we're not through it, right? We're not through this thing because throughout the entire series of Nice House on the Lake, every issue opened with a character living in a hellscape, living in the bubble on fire. And the only time we ever got that was at the beginning with these characters kind of explaining their situation. We never got how that happened. Obviously, they lose control, right? Walter gets shot, but technically he's still alive, right? That's how, spoilers, that's how the issue ends, or the series ends. But we never found out how they got to that place. I don't know how many more seasons we're going to get. If we're going to get only one more into season 2, or if we're going to continue on into 2 or 3, or 3 or 4. But it is what it is. Calvin, I'll read it when it returns for sure. No, it's classic Tinian. It feels really good. I think the other thing that really elevates that book is the artwork. The artwork in that book is fantastic. I mean, it's just good. Everything kind of fires on all cylinders on Nice House on the Lake. It's a really, really, really good book. So yeah. Anything else? What else do we got, guys? We haven't. I don't know if we're gonna do a solicitations video this month. I mean, we should, but we're so busy. It's been crazy, guys. It's been crazy. Oh yeah, I'm also liking Vanish. Each issue is really good. Yeah, Scott, Vanish has been fantastic as well. I think for me, Vanish is just it. Not only is it a good book, but it's also it's it's the only like a little bit of Donnie that I get right now because of him being so, that he's not on any other projects right now. I mean, shit, he's not even on his other independents like Crossover. That thing just stopped dead. So like there's just, I like Vanish overall as a book, but to another point, it's the only bit of Donnie Cates that I get here and there until he ends up getting on his other, whatever book he gets on next, whether it's independent or creator owned or back onto Marvel or who knows, maybe one day his DC contract will run out and he'll end up, I'm sorry, Marvel contract will run out and then jump over to DC. I mean, wouldn't that be nuts if he started writing DC stuff? I'd be all over that. Vanish was good. I had to go with the Scotty Young cover. Hilarious, dude. There has been a string of Vanish variant covers that have been really good. There's one, it's not Daniel Warren Johnson, even though he has been doing variants, but there has been an artist that has been doing the variants for Vanish that are very likened to Akira. Like they're just Akira style covers. I don't know who the artist though is. Let's check that out really quick. Let's go right now here. And we'll show you while we're gonna wait for it to pop up though. I don't know, it's being a little slow, being a little funky. Alright, go in there. Okay, now we can pop that up. So last week, Vanish. I don't know if there was one this week though. There may have not been, but there's the Scotty Young that we're talking about. Nice. This week's issue was trippy as hell, for sure. Let's see. I don't think there's one on, yeah, look, so like this definitely, these covers definitely remind me of Akira. They have a very Akira vibe, which I really dig. But there was one that, yeah, because this is Daniel Warren Johnson's, his covers are sick too though, like, oh, so good. Also good. The covers on Vanish have been outstanding. What was there was another one that was very Akira-esque. Maybe that was the only one. Maybe I might be just going crazy because this is two. So there was one on one. There was a ton on. Yeah, Daniel Warren Johnson's B cover was, dude. What, this guy needs to be back on a main book. You know what I mean? Like, why isn't he not on a book right now? Hopefully he's working on one because Daniel Warren Johnson is just, his art style is fantastic. And then on top of that, his writing is really good too. I mean, Do a Powerbomb was killer. There's a good Scotty Young. It's got like, what was that PlayStation 2 game where you were like a zombie vampire that fought other vampires? What was the name of that game? Because that reminds me of that. What was I don't remember, but I remember the sequel or prequel to that game was called Blood Oath, I believe. Yeah, a lot of great covers. But yeah, I need more Donny Cates in my life. All right, guys. Let's see. Yeah, I would love for Donny Cates to write a Yara full book for DC. It would be awesome for him to work his magic on her as a newish character. I did not like the last few books of Berserker. I jumped off of Berserker a long time ago. Soul Reaver, that's right, John. That game was sick. So when I was in, when did that game come out? I think it was in middle school, maybe freshman year of high school. I remember I had a PlayStation 2 and I bought I don't know if it was a Sony product or if it was like a third party product, but there was this thing where you could put a mini monitor on your PlayStation and you could just hook it up and go anywhere and play, right? And the thing is the monitor was like the screen size was probably this big, if not smaller. I remember playing that and being like, yeah, that's right, I'm playing my PlayStation 2 at the kitchen table, right? But that game was sick. I loved that game. And then the Blood Oath game where you were playing as Dracula was sick too. Good times. Good times. I need to track down Marco Doctor Strange variant. I would love another Beta Ray Bill arc. Dude, Beta Ray Bill deserves his own. He needs either another mini or an ongoing. Beta Ray Bill deserves his own book. And if it was Daniel Warren Johnson doing it, the better, right? My gosh, that book was so good. Will we get it? Probably not. You know, like it's just not. I don't know what he's doing, and he hasn't really said anything about what he's going to be doing next. He just kind of said, "I'll be working on something." Ooh, Stefan, that's good. A DWJ Nova miniseries. I bet Nate would love that. Make sure to bring that up when he comes on, because he would absolutely lose it for that, I'm sure. Keep on getting out of focus. Like, staying focused, Jim. Gosh. All right. Well, we'll just keep on waiting for Nate. I really don't want to go through these books without him, because I know he's got some thoughts. The first book is a doozy. But I will say, overall, it was a decent week. There were one or two books that I was kind of like, that was a miss. But overall, a very good week. Very, very good week for books. Next week, about the same amount of books. I got 13, and some of them might not even make the show. But then the next week, the first weekend in April, holy hell, guys, I only have 7 books. And I looked at, like, new comics on that day. And I'm, there's nothing. I don't think I'm missing anything. I'm just not getting a lot of books. Like I'm not doing Venom, not doing Wolverine, even though I heard it's doing great things. Yeah, I'm just not doing it. Like it's just not a lot of books that week. Well, there is Rogue and Gambit #2, which I have issue 1 literally sitting on my desk over there. I just haven't read it yet, but me skimming through it looks pretty good. I wish I could buy 13 books every week, dude. We have a very fortunate situation where we're able to do that. So Nova could definitely use more love. Yeah, and you would think he would get something here soon with all the rumors of him potentially getting a show. Or they keep on moving. We're like, oh, he's getting a Disney Plus show. Oh, he's going to be in a movie. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure he'll be some post-credit character and then it'll be announced clearly after that. All right, here's Nate. Let's bring him in. He is. All right. Well, Nate has joined us. I'll get him set up here really quick, and then we will get to it. Pop it out. Pop it. Lock it.
You gotta warn us.
Say what? What did you just say? What did you just say?
Your face. You need to warn us.
That I shaved? I shaved last week too. What? See, yeah, you didn't even pay attention. What do I need to warn you? What's wrong with my face?
It's not. There's nothing wrong with your face. It has nothing
clearly,
to do with right or wrong. That's not relevant.
What are you talking about?
Try to keep up, okay?
I'm trying. All right. Let's see here, John. Am I picking up? Yeah, we are. I am picking up Phantom Road. Nice Coheed shirt, by the way. It's very nice. Is that the one? Did you pick that one up on the last show?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. That's sick, dude. Looks like it like glows in the dark.
It doesn't, but it's still pretty cool.
Nova's being ignored. Oh, so someone. We were talking about books that we were potentially thinking about, like that should be done. Tell me you wouldn't cream your pants if Daniel Warren Johnson created a Nova miniseries.
Stop.
Right?
Full ropes.
All right. Okay.
I would be very excited about that.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into the show. First up, let's just get it over with. Amazing Spider-Man issue number 22.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
If you
didn't
read whatever random issues from Zeb Wells like 18 years ago, then you probably don't know. I didn't read those, so I don't know.
Exactly. I'm getting to the point where I might drop this book.
Wow. You're
I
a
just
Spider-Man hater,
dude. No, that's not it. You know I'm a bit. Okay. John Romita Jr. artwork, pass. Compelling story. You know, like what the who's this character that's stuck in this other dimension? I don't know who this dude is. You know, and I got to go read another. It's just I'm tired, and I guess what I'm saying is I get the feeling that we're getting very close to what happened when I was reading Nick Spencer's run, where it was like, oh, something cool's happening, and then it was like, all right, like I feel like .lr half issues are right around the corner where we're gonna get.
They are,
you know, .lr 22.5. Like I can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm gonna, you know. I think Romita's on the next 2 books, and then we get what's that other constant Spider-Man?
Damn it! I know who you're talking about too, but I cannot think of it.
Let's see. I'm just gonna keep going. Oh no, let's see who can get to it first. Ed McGuinness.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't realize it was Ed McGuinness.
Ed McGuinness is coming in June, but before June, we were just getting constant Romita. But again, like. I think, you know what? I think it was John, right? Or not John, Joe. Joe asked us last week, is Spider-Man overrated? I think going back into that question, it's just like because of the frequency in which his book comes out, I don't think any writer has a chance to really write something meaningful. You know what I mean?
Agree.
You don't agree?
Mm-mm.
Well, then what are we doing right now?
I think it's difficult. I think there are writers that can do it, though. But
there's few.
There are few, and most of them are probably turning down the book. I think Chips.
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying there's nobody capable of doing it.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, there's definitely people capable, but
yeah, I'm just saying because of its frequency, and because of its because it has to be so broad, even though right now it's not, right? Like if someone were to have picked this, like, you know what? I'm going to the comic book shop today. I'm going to pick up Spider-Man. If they picked this up, they're like, the fuck is going on? Like it's beyond dense for seasoned readers. I can't even imagine somebody who's hasn't read a comic book in a long time. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying for sure.
It's just hard.
It is hard. I would actually say that I will say for this issue, this was a better John Romita book. He does better with action and suits than he does with people's faces. Yeah, and we had a lot of action and suit in this, so it wasn't as bad. I'm just trying to find a little bit of positivity in this book. There's not a lot. There's not a lot there. So
John Spider-Man will succeed or fail based on whether or not they stick the landing. Dark Web really interrupted the flow of whatever they were trying to reveal. Yeah. Sure, like Dark Web was such a fucking yo, what up? I didn't miss X-Men at least. No, yeah, you didn't miss none. All right, I just want to move on. This book sucked.
Yep.
All right. Doctor Strange, issue number 1. Prose, artwork. Really good. I really liked the artwork in this issue. No? You didn't like it? Oh my god. When you make that face, I feel like I did something wrong.
No, you didn't do anything wrong. No. The artwork was not for me. I'm not saying it was bad. That's rude. And I can't do shit.
Romita, huh? It was John Romita, huh? Okay.
I
thought it was good.
No, it's not John Romita. Is it better than John Romita?
Yes. 100%. What are you smoking, dude? Is there something in that Topo Chico? What are you doing?
What's in the Topo Chico? Who said it's Topo? It's just a Topo bottle, right?
Oh shit. I thought the art was good.
It's okay.
Okay.
It stood out. It stood out enough to me to be disruptive.
Okay.
Especially Doctor Strange's face.
Okay.
Okay.
What'd you think of the story?
This book could be good could even be great if you're a Doctor Strange fan.
Right.
If you are well versed in Doctor Strange cast of characters, and or you have been keeping up with the Jed Mackay era of the Strange verse,
Right.
aka Death of Doctor Strange, then the Clea book, and then now.
Yeah.
I am none of those, so I could not care less about anything in this book. It is not a bad book.
Okay.
I just don't. I'm not interested in any of this stuff. Let me put it this way: if you're a Strange fan, I don't know. Someone let me know if you're a Strange fan of this book.
A lot of people liked it this week.
Because if you are a person who needs encouragement to jump into a Doctor Strange book, if you're someone that is a Marvel fan, you don't really like Doctor Strange, this book is not going to convince you to get into Doctor Strange. I will not be picking up issue 2. I'm not interested in the wand stuff in the back with
I wasn't in that though.
with those characters, Wong and a couple of other people, Doctor something. And unfortunately, the art to me, I'm not saying the art is bad. I'm not an artist.
Yeah.
But it was distracting enough for me that I was like, these faces seem kind of silly. That combined with a story that wasn't super compelling, I won't be picking up issue 2.
Bats he is in the book. He's kind of like very subtle comic relief, which I did like. I'm gonna give issue 2 a shot, but I am kind of in the same camp as you, and I think we made this observation in last week's new comic book day videos. We were just worried that because we weren't very excited about Death of Doctor Strange, and when it ended, we were kind of like, that was kind of a letdown. And then I read the first 2 issues of Strange, but then I kind of jumped out because I was just like, I don't know what we're doing here. We were fearful of that, because we wanted to give it a shot. And, the story for me was kind of like, okay, cool, he's back. But at the same time, I don't know. Like, I guess it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Like, we want invested readers to be rewarded, which this definitely probably is for them. But at the same time, for someone who's just picking it up, you're right. Like, they would not know what the hell is going on. There was no explanation to how he got, you would think we'd get even just a panel of like how he was resurrected and by whom, which obviously it was by his wife, I would assume.
I have no idea.
Right. So I think it was much thicker and much more rewarding for not new readers, readers that have been with Mackay for the whole thing. I was more of a Doctor Strange when it was Sia as the Supreme, but I don't want that 4-issue mini style either. I hate not understanding what I read. I get that. My biggest problem with with DC and Marvel is there's certain concepts get weird and there's no explanation or reason. Like magic and certain tech needs explanation, even Gamma. I'm not even gonna try with this one. I'll give myself a headache. The colors alone would. Jaden. It feels like all magic users are opening up clinics. Yeah, right. Spider-Man or Batman don't really need that, but I think heroes like Green Lantern, Zatanna, Strange need at least a little hand holding. Yeah, I could see that. Maybe not Green Lanterns, but he was brought back by death. Oh, by death. Interesting. Strange is to me like Surfer is to Nate. Oh, okay. Scarlet Witch opened a shop and Doctor Strange opened up an urgent care for magic.
That's funny.
Again, I'm gonna give issue 2 a shot, but I think it's definitely on notice. If
I hear enough positive things about issue 2, then maybe I'll pick it up on the back end. But
right.
But again, someone said it. I really like Jed Mackay. Like I'm a Jed Mackay guy, and so if by the end of this arc, if someone's like, "Whoa, I know the first one didn't really make sense, but the arc was great," I'll pick the trade up and jump back in.
Right.
But just for right now, I'm all right.
Yeah. All right, Marauders issue number 12. This is the final issue from Steve Orlando, and holy shit!
So sad.
Well, it's sad, but Orlando went out with a bang. Genosha's back. Pride has
All of Genosha, like
all of Genosha has been revived because of this little cosmic cube that we have here on the
like
cover.
16 million people or some shit like that.
So the it happened. It happened. And so she has fulfilled I believe it is the third law, which is make more mutants. It's either the second or third law, which is make more mutants. She made a fuck ton of mutants. So Genosha is back. Now, it's awesome. What is the wait? What does this mean? Again, I have not watched my Comic Book Herald video, so I'm sure he went into depth of the implications of this. But this, to me, feels like a pillar, the foundation for any form of backdrop or backup plan to when we eventually get to the fall of X, right? It just feels like this is something that's set up like, when it happens and something will happen in Fall of X and goes, remember back in Marauders issue number 12 from Steve Orlando? Genosha's back. Like that's what's, right. And I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, Orlando definitely did his own thing. Orlando definitely wrote the book that he wanted to write, but this, I will just, and I'm not saying this is a negative, I'm just saying this is an observation.
I got you.
It definitely feels like the X office was like, and I want you to write a story. And in that story, I want you to figure out a way to resurrect Genosha. It's a big problem. We're trying to figure it out. Do it for us, please. And he did it. And so I think that's a plot point that we will see in the Fall of X fairly soon.
Okay.
But Genosha is back. That's all I can really... That's the biggest thing that happened in this issue was that, we've got threshold mutants who have been brought back from time, into the present, who are now on the X-Men team. That's what gives me hope that Rasputin will end up becoming into the main continuity, because we have mutants that time traveled literally through Resurrection Protocol into the current timeline. That's that point. But anyway, yeah, we've got everyone from Genosha's back, and so that means Negasonic Teenage Warhead is back. Yeah, dude, the panel in which when everyone gets resurrected is really cool. They just like they start flying out of this like portal. It's fucking cool.
All right.
So, Emperor, if you're invested in Marauders, then this was very good. If you're not like me, then it was like, I can understand that. It's something that you can't just. You got to read all of them, So. It was great. I'm sad to see it go, but Orlando is picking up and doing some bigger and better things, and I'm very interested to see what the X lineup is going to be after Sins of Sinister, and we get into. I would assume that there's gonna be a reset after Fall of X. So we'll see, but interesting to see if they even come back. Man, I'm just doing all the books this week. She-Hulk issue number 11.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Let me look at my poll really quick. Let me just. That was good. That was fun. Okay, I'm gonna have two pick of the weeks.
Oh, good lord, here we go.
That's Jim's pick of the week.
Shouldn't surprise anybody. This is one of my pick of the weeks. I said in New Comic Book Day that issue 12 would be an issue where we would get a cameo appearance of our new villain. I lied.
Oh, it's this one.
This is his first appearance. Not just a cameo. He is in multiple pages doing multiple things and kicking the shit out of She-Hulk. We've got a game changer villain here. Let's put that aside here for real quick. You know me, guys. I love my comics. I love my cosmic. I love epic multiversal Elseworld stories. But then there's this little corner here in James's brain here, James, whatever you want to call me. That little slice of life, right? The little slice of life aspect that is very prominent in this book, and I know most of y'all are probably not big fans of this book, and that's okay. But god damn it, if I'm a sucker for slice of life. And we were all happy. Issue number 10, Jack was back. Jack of Hearts.
Yes.
He was back, but he's radioactive still, but they were going to work on it. They were going to try to figure out how to have the relationship. Well, in this issue, they're still trying to figure it out, and it's not looking too good, and it really sucks. But it's more of a plot development that makes you feel like, well, god damn it, like that kind of thing. Not okay. Like, well, that's not like that's lazy, but more like, damn, that's some real shit. right?
Mhm.
You know, Jack of Hearts doesn't want to hurt Jen, right? He doesn't want to hurt her. You know, his previous experience with her is he was draining the radiation out of her in space to the point where she almost died, right? So he obviously he's hesitant, and now that he has his powers back, he's being very careful. And so it's very clear that they're trying to work things out and trying to get back to how it was in the previous issues where he didn't have his powers. But it's just it doesn't feel like it's going to be the same. And you can tell via the writing and the artist of this book that Jen is really having a hard time dealing with this transition because she wants to be with Jack, because she says that in the previous issue, she felt like herself for the first time in a long time with Jack. You know, she could be Jen with Jack and be okay. She could be She-Hulk with Jack and she feels like herself. Whereas when she in her previous relationships, it just felt like either She-Hulk was the prominent thing or Jen was the prominent thing. No, she could never just be herself, which is both, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she feels very connected with Jack, and now they're at this crossroads where at any moment he could kill her just by standing next to her.
Oh.
So for me, that was the biggest and the most impactful part of this issue. I think it was the most meaningful. But then we get to this new character, this new villain who has broken into the Baxter building, right? The Fantastic Four headquarters. And he's trying to steal something. And, you know, she looks like, it's just a dude wearing blue tights and a mask. I can beat the shit out of this guy. And this guy's like, ha! Nah, dude. And they have it out. They fight. And he gets away, and it totally throws her off. And she's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" At the end of the issue, when she gets thrown out of a window, and when she lands, she's like, "What just happened?" Right? And even me as a reader, I'm like, "What just happened?" Mm-hmm. Crazy good hook for the fact that you've got this character who seems unbeatable get her ass kicked by this, I mean, relatively smaller, puny dude compared to her, and he deals with her with ease. So I liked it. I thought it was super fun. And then on top of that, these covers have been absolutely fantastic. Issue number 12 is going to be the oversized issue. Cannot wait.
So do I need to pick this up at least in trade or what?
I've been telling you. Shut up. I've been telling you this forever.
Yeah, I guess I need to.
Yeah, you do. Anyway, let's see here, Joe. This run is great. It doesn't try to be amazing, but I do like the vibe of this run. It's fun and easy read. 100%. It's got good character development. It's got good stories, but it's not like shit. I gotta go get my Marvel encyclopedia and figure out what the hell is going on, or is this a new thing? You know, like there's no uncertainty there. This run is exactly what it says it is, and then on top of that, yeah, it's an easy read, but it's also that's credit to Rowell. Like when the book ends, you're like, well, fuck, man, it's already over and I just started. No, that's because the writing is that good. It's because she's got you hooked so much that you're having a good time. So when it ends, you want it to keep going. There are other books that you read on your pulls that are the same length with the same amount of words, and you're like, God, that was dreadful. It was just hard to get through. It was like walking in molasses. Joe Shielk gets a 7 out of 10 as me for John Shielk was good. The new thief guy reminds me of the Sins of the Black Flamingo guy.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know. I gotta check that out. They ought to make a corner box art mandatory. Great covers throughout. 100%. This is a great book. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be writing a letter to Marvel the day it says this is the last issue. Like, no, needs to keep going. All right, Sins of Sinister, Storm, and the Brotherhood of Mutants. Vibes, yo. Vibes. Yeah. This book was fantastic.
Good. I liked it.
Game changer and definitely an oh shit moment. I know she saw it coming, right? But I just did not see.
She did not see it coming.
I thought she did.
No, she did not see it coming.
Oh, I thought she was kind of accepting it.
No.
Oh, well, she get fucking hacked.
Yeah. Destiny gets her head cut in half. No, that the person that did it specifically said, Storm said painless, I hope. And whoever it was that did it, I don't remember who that is.
I think it was the Iraqi mutant that can power up people.
Yeah. She said it had to be. If she had even an instant to form a thought, she'd have sent it back to herself. Instead, darkness, as prophesized, the end of the universe, her own.
Fuck.
Yeah. So it was totally, she did not know.
Well, either way, great book. Heavy, and obviously very intentional Star Wars vibes, which I loved. So
really like
when is Al Ewing writing a Star Wars book? Because I think he would do great at it, right? Like a Darth Vader book. Or even just a new. You know what? Give Al Ewing, let him create new continuity with past the most recent movies. Let's just see what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, excellent book. I think this is. Do I dare say this is the strongest book in the Sins of Sinister event?
Oh, well, I think that's very easy to say.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't know. I mean, I like.
Sorry, I think that's very easy to say, for sure.
Well, you're a Rasputin hater, so like.
I'm not a Rasputin hater. No, I'm not.
You know, you're like, I hope she fucking dies. Like, I don't even know why they brought her back. Anyway, I liked it. I thought it was fun. Al Ewing is definitely doing some crazy shit in it, and even though I guess I kind of saw Storm dying coming, it still was a shock to me. Like we still have one more book for her. With her name on the book, and she's presumably going to be dead.
Right.
But so they ended up stealing the Moira engine in this book, right?
Yeah. They stole the whole thing.
Right. Well, we'll see how, obviously this book is probably going to be the resolution, the thing that, or a major part in which, how this event ends, right? But overall, I was very impressed, and it was an easy read. Again, I think there was a lot of material in this, but it was definitely Rasputinator, right? I think it was probably a little harder for some people that aren't connected to what's going on in the X books, but I thought it was great. So let's see here. I do want this run to do something memorable before it's over. It feels a one note for me. Oh, She-Hulk, yeah. Last, excellent book. I'm somewhat loving Sins of Sinister, but I want to see how they land the series. I get that. I get that, Empire. I think it'll land. I think they're gonna stick it, but I do believe it'll be outside of anybody's expectations. I don't think it's definitely not going to do what we think it's going to do, right? And I'm sure a lot of people are thinking it's going to go one way, but Al Ewing and Karen Gillan and Spurrier are definitely probably going to go in a completely different direction. So we'll have to wait and see with that. Did you see the preview to the next Cy Spurrier book?
Next. What do you mean? Oh, the next Nightcrawlers book?
Sure. I don't even know what it's called. It's like. Well, let me look at it. It's got me
soaking.
soaking.
Are you talking about Nightcrawlers, or are you talking about Way of X?
Way of X? Is that what it's called? No.
That's what it's called outside of.
He's got another book. It's part of the Before the Fall series. It's called Sons of X. And then it reads A Battle of Titans of the X Universe.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Cracks form in the foundation of Krakoa.
Okay.
Like, I want to like Cy Spurrier's shit, but it's too fucking thick, man.
Nah, I'm not giving up on him. Rush was too good.
Rush, so really? You're gonna come on?
So good.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
It's a good thing you don't need to agree.
All right, let's jump over to DC. We got World's Finest issue number 13. Dan Moore's back. I'm loving that. Dude, the guy can fucking draw. Like he is the house. He needs to be the house style for DC. I know that there are other there are other artists that DC prefers as their house style, but fuck, man, he's fantastic. I did feel like there were a couple things that I was missing, character history wise in this book. But also, do we get a full Pepe Larraz book soon? Yeah, and it's an independent book with Mark Millar. I knew it. I literally saw your eyebrow raise. I genuinely liked DC's World's Finest. But I did feel like there was something I was missing, and I think that's more of me just not being a seasoned DC reader. Like there was a character, the character that got murdered. I don't know the significance of that character. I just don't. I don't know who that is.
Oh, I don't. You don't need to.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I'm saying if you know who he is, then sure, that might give you a little bit more information. But like, that's not detrimental to the story.
Okay.
Really.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, I really liked it. I like Metamorpho. I think he's a cool character. And I liked Dan Mora's interpretation of him when he was like morphing into him, like when he was trying to figure out. That was sick, dude.
Really good.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think one of the difficult things that is just a natural thing in comics is reintroducing characters that maybe haven't been used in a while, or maybe in a really long time, or trying to use them in a different way, and or trying to flash back to really obscure things like what we're doing in Spider-Man right now. That obviously is falling flat for us. Here, however, I think it did a really great job. Like, it really made me want to go back and look at Metamorpho's other appearances in different comics and stuff, because he seems like an intriguing character. And I think that's one thing that Mark Waid and Dan Mora have done a really good job of in this entire book so far, is making you interested in other aspects, maybe underutilized or not as prominent. You know, they did that with Doom Patrol as well. They utilized them fantastically, not in a point where you felt like you were confused, but in a way that felt fun and made you want to
yeah, for sure. What I find interesting is this just feels like Dan Mora and Mark Waid's book. Like, it feels like it's their book.
It does,
right? But then when Waid went over and did Batman versus Robin, it just felt so like,
did not feel
no, it didn't feel genuine, and it felt like he was being forced to write it. So that being said, I'm kind of, and again, I'm in the same boat with you, Nate. I don't really give a shit about this character. But the World's Finest has got me so hyped for Shazam in their book, because I'm not a Shazam fan. I just don't really care. Like, I'm not, whatever. But when this book was released, we were like, I remember both of us were like, I guess we'll check it out.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we were like, holy shit, this is amazing. So I think his Shazam is going, because it's both of them. It's Waid and Mora. And I think that's,
so.
It's so crucial to have your creative team be on the same step, on the same steps, and just being cohesive and in sync. And I think that's going to bring a lot to that book. But this was really fun. And when it ended, I was like, no, I want more. And did I read the backup? No. I didn't read the backup. No, wait, that's in a different book.
There wasn't a backup. There's no backup here.
It's in Nightwing.
I will say that another thing that I was worried about that I want to give them credit for is I kind of get what's the right way to say this? I'm really sensitive when Jimmy Olsen shows up in books. I don't think people utilize him well, and he just feels like a negative holdover from like Golden Age. And people are like, hey, I'm gonna be quirky and use Jimmy Olsen, and they don't use him in a unique way, and so it gets really dull and really annoying. And I do very much enjoy how they used Jimmy Olsen in this book.
100%.
Yeah, this is great. This is my favorite book that we've covered so far this week.
Nice. Before we get on to our next book, Joe coming in with the halftime question: do y'all think Marvel's continuity is too scary for new readers? Look at DC. You can see many new jumping on points for new readers, but Marvel doesn't other than that Hoxpox for mutants. I might have to agree with Calvin, but it's just, I think it's more of a preference. I think this question is riddled or is soaking in preference. And what I mean by that is, what's your if you had to, gun to your head, pick between DC or Marvel, who would you pick? And I think that's where your answer would be, where your answer would lie in that, and I think for me, I don't think Marvel's scary at all. Whereas DC, yeah, there's jumping on points, but I'm still confused, and I think that's my fault because I just don't know the characters that well. But that's how I would interpret it.
Yeah, I would say Marvel continuity in comparison to DC continuity is like elementary level versus trigonometry.
Oh shit.
I would say DC's continuity is quintuple as difficult. All of the starting points actually, I think, make it significantly more difficult because as you read with Marvel, you can read all over the place with a character, and their continuity is going to stay the same. Like, sure, there's retcons and some things will change, but for the most part, it just kind of makes sense. To where like there could be things that were introduced during like the New 52 that are like the Huntress in New 52 and the Huntress in Rebirth, they're not even the same characters. They're dynamically different characters, yet they're supposed to be the same. And it's like, to me, it's so much more complicated. And I think that's why I'm more of a Marvel reader than I am a DC reader, because it was easier for me to finally make that plunge and not feel like I was drowning when I would do that with Marvel. So, yeah,
right, Joe.
I think that was a lot easier.
I like how long. I like how long can you say that Captain America fought in World War II and Punisher fought in Vietnam? Marvel likes to play in real world dates, but that will connect you to the events and make no sense. I can see that. I'm trying to jump on Superman. It's good, but I still feel like I'm missing something. Well, we're about to talk about that book, so we'll get there.
Well, Joe, I think you probably pointed out, by the way, I think you pointed out the number one largest criticism of Marvel's continuity, because I'm certainly not saying Marvel's continuity is without flaw. Certainly is, and I think that's probably the most difficult one there is to do. As a matter of fact, I think Punisher has been stripped of Vietnam. I don't think he ever fought in Vietnam now compared to the current continuity.
So how, when do you think Marvel will pull the trigger on Cap not being a World War II vet? Will they ever?
No, I don't think so.
Interesting.
Because the year he was brought back is ambiguous. So he was frozen. It doesn't matter if he was frozen for 10 years or 10,000 years. It just doesn't matter. And right. So yeah, no, I think that is such a key part of his identity that, I mean, maybe 200 or 300 years from now, if we're still somehow doing this shit, maybe then, but not in our lifetime. I don't think that would ever happen.
Oh man, what are comics gonna be like in 200 or 300 years? Will there be an Earth? It's already being made by AI, dude. We make it for our thumbnails. I could totally make a comic out of AI if I wanted to.
People are already doing it. It's gross.
Yep. John. Oh yeah, I already read that. Superman. All right, let's get on to the next one. Nightwing issue 102. First reaction, really cannot wait for the Titans. This makes me feel very excited for it. Could give two shits about this little girl and the demons wanting her soul. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care. Don't care.
I think it's kind of neat.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. But I'm sure it got resolved, but I don't remember it. Remember when Batgirl and Nightwing were transporting a prisoner, and then the little imp came and was like, right? And then that storyline just went away. Where'd that go? Like,
it was resolved,
I guess, but I just don't care. I don't care about DC's underworld characters outside of Raven, which I really like Raven, and I think she's cool. But when your demons look like normal people who are supervillains, like dressed up supervillains with capes, it just kind of doesn't do it for me. So I'm like, I don't understand why you're scared of this guy. He's just like a blonde dude that's wearing a green jumpsuit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. So overall, I am loving that we're getting a free preview. Not really, but a preview of what the Titans book is going to look like, and the team, and how they're going to work together, and how they're going to work as a unit. I love it. But as for this blockbuster selling the soul of his daughter to become invincible and then end up dying anyway, and now Hell wants the girl, I don't care. That's me. I love Tom Taylor.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, I like this. I liked everything about it. I wouldn't say it's like the strongest book in all of his run, but it was still enjoyable. It was still fun. It makes me excited for Titans, like you were saying. And I think the backup was good too. I think I like these stories between John and Dick. I do kind of wish they were still written by Tom Taylor, because there's a slight tonal difference that is noticeable to me, but I also do feel like that's me being a little bit nitpicky.
Well, I think that's the most frustrating thing about these like forced tie-ins in these books is like sometimes they don't share the same tone. So like it's even hard to just jump into it because it's not the same style that you just read for a majority of pages.
Sure, and I get that, but a lot of times I don't know. If you just it's almost would make more sense if you read them all together.
Right. Never. Never. All right, next up, I think this is our last DC of the book, and that is Dawn of DC Superman issue number 2 from Williamson.
This Chips.
Pick of the week. Dude,
I haven't picked.
You what?
I didn't pick a pick of the week.
Oh, I think I know what yours is.
How could you know it if I don't know it?
But I thought it was that book that you want me to cover that is not on our poll.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't know. It's certainly not my pick of the week. I just thought it'd be cool to cover.
This is my pick of the week because this book was super fun. It felt new, right? It felt new. Okay. And you had Superman on the ropes. You had the super team, super family on the ropes. Constantly guessing what's happening. You've got this new character who initially, when she shows up and starts fighting Superman, and then, so at this point when we're watching it, his powers get depleted. So he's struggling to fight, struggling to fly. As we're going, he's starting to get better and better. Then he runs into this Marlon Moonlight, and she is like, hey, don't fuck with me. And then before she splits, she fucking powers him up with the light of the moon, which is the sun. And you're like, well, why would you do that? And then bam, dude gets infected by these draining little zombie dudes. So she basically played the card of like, all right, I'm going to power you up so that you get infected, and now you're going to be a bad guy. And I was like, oh, that's so fucking smart. Like, I just thought it was good. I thought the writing was good. The story is definitely compelling. And then, dude, this artwork. I've
been telling you.
God.
Jamal Campbell, listen, I love Dan Mora's work. I love Dan Mora. But I personally think Jamal Campbell is the best DC artist working right now. I think that he should be on more books. And I wonder if it's maybe just because his style is so intricate that he can't keep up with more than a monthly, which would be understandable. But I love his art so much. His art totally sets the tone of this entire book.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's Campbell is the GOAT. I just think what we talked about Mark Waid and Dan Mora being on World's Finest and just making that book feel so good. I think you've got another situation here where you have a stellar writer and a stellar artist just bring in the beans,
Bring in the beans.
And I guess for me, it just lingers in the back of my mind as the disappointment is when will Campbell be off the book? Inevitably, right? When will we get 2 to 3 issues so he can take a break, and it'll just suck the life out of the book, and you'll be like, God damn it, unless Mora jumps on to fill in, which that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
It's going to be some like, oh, this is our new Stormbreaker artist who has never done this before. You're like, oh God, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But overall, I liked it, and yeah, Jaden, I totally see what you're saying. This character is interesting, but screams Moon Knight. No, I mean, though. Her style, and then when she pulled out those like ghost pistols, I was like, dude, that is fucking cool. Like she felt cool, man. Like I liked it. I
thought it was cool. Yeah.
Let's see here. Lee, Cathan, Trigon, Neron, Lucifer, Death. Is that?
Who are these people?
I think those are all the demons that are in DC's books,
Mm.
which is fine. I don't know. I'm trying. I'm trying. DC books I've read: Nightwing, Superman's World's Finest. This week, I feel like Saturday morning cartoons. It's like a great break between my Marvel. Yeah, I totally agree. John Cesardi cover on Superman 2 was awesome.
Oh yeah, that's the character one of Marilyn. What's her Marilyn Midnight?
Oh yes, you're right.
Something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a really
that
good
looks,
one.
yeah, that's sick. That's a good one. And then like I think her character design is cool too. I think she's a cool looking character. Like I dig it. I just dig it. But overall, Superman was really fun this week. And again, it's my DC pick of the week. Second pick of the week. All right, let's jump over to Independence. We start off with Grimm issue number 9 from Boom Studios. Building the lore, building our characters up. We're getting into a little bit more hierarchy when it comes to the afterlife, hell, heaven, whatever you want to call it. This issue, I liked this issue, but it did have hints of that issue 6 where we were kind of like, wait, what are we doing? You know, like barely, just a hint for me, just a little hint, but then it came back, you know. You know, things are going down, shit's going down, and you know, this is definitely not a good jumping on point. I'll say that. But I genuinely liked it. I think Stephanie Phillips has really got a good winner here. You know, we've got our main character trying to potentially save the world, but also doing it begrudgingly and maybe even thinking it's fake. And then we find a little bit of information about some of our side characters and their history and what brought them to be either a good or bad Reaper. You know, it was pretty heavy.
Yeah, see, I didn't get that feeling at all in this issue. To me, it flowed really well. I really liked too, especially that we got the that like 4-page little snippet into Marcel's past. Yeah. Like seeing like why is it he's in this side of the afterlife. I thought that was really interesting. I would like more of that. Just kind of getting these characters more, making them more sympathetic. You know what I mean? Like making them more. You grow more attached to the characters.
I was gonna say human.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. No, I think I like. You know, it's clearly foreshadowing. You know that we're gonna get more character development and history for our other Reapers. Dude, I really liked the Reaper that confronted them in the streets. The, you know, Betty the Riveter kind of style looking chick. I thought that was really cool. I don't know, man. I feel like Grimm is a sleeper. I think a lot of people aren't reading this book right now, and they're missing out. I think if you have the opportunity to pick up, you know, even the first issue, if you can find it, do it. I think this book has some massive potential, and that's just speculation in the sense of it becoming something more than just a comic book. But as a story and as a book, it is fantastic. So if you're not reading Grimm, go do it. If there's ever an opinion that you need to actually like listen to from this show, it's go read Grimm. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that it's in the top 4 of Boom books that are currently being published. So
Empire, I agree.
A lot of really good ones.
Yeah, Empire, I agree with you. I do miss the foils as well. They were like when they hit, I would pick them up for sure. All right, next up from Boom, we have The Neighbors issue number 1.
Did you pick this up?
I did.
Okay, did you read it?
I did.
Okay. I need to hear your opinion before I give mine.
I will not be picking up issue 2.
Okay.
But
what?
I did like the hook. I liked the last 4.
What do you think the hook is?
What do I think the hook is?
What's the hook? Jim, please tell me the
I
hook.
would assume it's like body snatchers. Like we've got where people are getting eaten up and put into the ground, and then there's duplicates put into their house or into the neighborhood.
Okay.
That's what I think it is. I don't know if that's it.
I don't know either. I'm not. There's no right or wrong answer here. I'm just
okay. So that's it for me in that sense. Like I felt like a majority of the book, I was like, "What the fuck are we doing?" And then when the actual horror part of being chased and creepy people like neighbors being like, "I'm gonna get you," that was, that's what I was expecting. And then the last page, I had to turn every light in my house on when I went to bed because it just had me freak the fuck out. Because like her sitting at her on her in the living room, be like, "Hi, Dad," you're like, huh, that was no, thank you. But overall, I don't really, it's very clear that this is like you're not supposed to know exactly what's going on. Which I mean, obviously that we shouldn't do that, but I think it could have been delivered better.
Yeah.
There you go.
So there's I got a lot, not a lot. I will be picking up issue 2. We'll start there.
Okay.
I will be picking up issue 2 off of the strength of the artist.
Is that a left or right hook? I don't know, Joe.
What?
He asked if it was a left or right hook.
Whose hook?
You asked what the hook is. He's talking about boxing.
Oh,
okay.
Sorry.
Just try to keep up here.
I'm brain dead here.
Okay.
So the art is from the artist is the same artist from the second art of House of Slaughter. I thought it was a fantastic fit for that book, and now I'm convinced that this artist just needs to continue doing horror books. They're fantastic at it.
Okay.
Great art. Exactly what I wanted. So this is the author of that other Boom book, Maw, that I picked up the first issue and we talked about, and I didn't get any issues after that for the same reason I almost am not picking up the second issue here, and it's that I felt like there were pages missing out of my copy.
Okay.
I thought surely I missed a page here because this panel to this panel makes no sense. No human editor for any respectable comic book would go, this panel to this panel makes sense. Yes, I understand. And that happened twice in this book, and it happened like 2 or 3 times in Maw as well. So I don't know if maybe it's just her style that really doesn't resonate with me, or I don't follow very well. And I was trying to make a point when I said, what's the hook? Because the one really important part, especially about the first issue of a horror book, is that hook is very obvious and very clear, and it was not.
No, I agree.
And so that frustrated me. However, boom, horror, great artist. It's enough to make me pick up issue 2. So I'll pick up issue 2.
Okay.
We'll see what it is. But as it stands right now, I wouldn't recommend picking this up unless you're like us and you're a boom head and you like having
boom head. I like that.
Let's see how issue 2 goes.
You let me know.
We missed a few here.
Good.
Joe said he grabbed volume 1 with Grimm, saving it for October to get into the horror vibe, also saving Silver Coin. You're going to be in for a very good October because, especially with Silver Coin. John said, "Crap, I'm going to have to get a bunch of Grimm back issues." Yes, except please do not be beholden to first prints,
right?
Because you're not gonna find them. I mean, you might find them, but you're gonna pay for them. You're gonna pay for them.
You're gonna pay for them.
I think the first issue went to print 7. I think it went 6.
Either 6 or 7.
6 or 7 print. You got them, didn't you?
Do I have them all? Yes.
Yeah. I figured you went for them. And then I think issues 2 and 3 went to more than 2 printings.
At least 4.
And so, if you're a first issue guy, I would say maybe pick up the trade instead.
Sorry, Joe. Why are there so many horror independent comics out? I want more wrestling comics and romance comics, something more grounded. Can y'all recommend any?
Ooh, you picked the 2.
Whoa, wait. I thought you were gonna say to pick the 2 guys. Never mind, continue.
You picked the 2 genres that I am least familiar with in comics. Don't woe me about statements about my own self.
Don't you woe me.
That's my body. I would be curious about more romance, grounded level stuff too. I know Jim can definitely point you towards some manga for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know about comics. I especially don't know about wrestling comics.
I was about to say, like, I just picked up. So I've got Witchcraft Works, which also is still kind of like fantasy based, but there's a lot of slice of life kind of romance, budding kind of stuff, like budding romance kind of thing. The other manga that I picked up that I think it's really funny, and I gotta show you this. It's freaking hilarious. So it's called Sachi's. I think it's Sachi. Sachis. Sachis. I don't know. I can't say it. Monstrous Appetite, which is a book about a senior in high school kid who has a crush on another student, but the issue is he doesn't know that she's actually like secretly a monster.
Oh. And
she has like constantly hungry. Insatiable hunger. And it's a freaking, I love it. And it's kind of horror-esque also, because like the monsters in the book look really freaking scary. And she also, when she turns into the monster, she looks gross. Like she's like, ah! But the story starts with him like they walk to school together, and then one day like they get attacked by a monster. Like she saves them, but then the chapter ends with her almost eating him alive. Like she's like, ah! Like about to eat him, and then she's like, I can't do it. It's fucking hilarious. So there's stuff like that I really like. It's really weird, but it's like it's based in horror, but it's also got some like slice of life and romance in it too. It's pretty cool. So,
okay, interesting.
There you go. You might want to check it out. All right, let's go.
What's the next one?
Blue Book.
Did you read that?
Nah, I didn't pick it up.
Blue Book will be quick.
Okay.
Blue Book is hard for me to recommend, but I still enjoyed reading it. So there's this book is two different books. The first half is what Barney and Betty, the ones that get abducted in the 60s. This is a real life story that we're doing a comic adaptation of. I feel really bad saying this, but this book feels like it was made digitally for a digital reader on a digital email site. It doesn't have the same oomph and production value that I feel like I get from a normal, traditionally published comic.
Interesting.
And I know it almost sounds like I'm saying the artist is just not good, but there were so many panels that were just filled with blue space. And it's not just because it's called the Blue Book. Like, the art felt so like minimal to me is fine. Minimal artwork makes sense in the correct story. This is not that story, and it didn't feel minimal with a purpose. It felt minimal, like let's do the least amount of effort per panel that we can.
Ooh, wow.
And that part really frustrated me. Now the story, the writing, pretty good, but we're really kind of just telling someone's story they've already been told in so I don't know. The second half of the story, the true weird one, was actually better. This one is like a old medieval wives' tale sort of story about the green kids that they find in a grave, and they raise them. The boy dies as a kid, but the girl eventually eats their food and learns how to eat their food and becomes not green anymore, and she marries an earl, and it's from like an alternate dimension or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird, kind of goofy, but that one was better. However, I just don't know that I can recommend this book. I'm gonna keep reading it, but I just don't know that I can recommend it. It just feels like so little effort is getting put into this.
That's weird.
And of course, it's over a year old, so it's not new.
Right.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I think that I will probably take it off the show, even though I'm going to read issue 3. If it doesn't stand out in any sort of way, I think we'll pull it off the show.
Right. Okay. Nate asks you, did you drop Blue Wall? I held off at first, though. It thought it would be too preachy, but dude, this is a gem. I binged all 6 issues at once, and it's my DC book of the year so far.
Okay, so I guess I'm just going to go pick them up, because I've been... every month that it comes out, I kick myself for falling off. Literally, it just... issue 2 came out, and I didn't see it. I just missed it somehow. And then when issue 3 came out on like a 15-book week,
right,
I was just like, I can't do it, and I'm already behind. I'll just have to go pick them all up, because that's...
yeah.
I enjoyed the first issue too much. I'm glad to hear that, because
all right, good.
I really liked it.
All right, let's jump over to Image with Infernal Girl Red, Part 3 of 3, the ending of the first arc. This book, I'm not saying it's amazing. I'm not saying it's like the best, Image book out there, but this Infernal Girl Red is what I wanted Radiant Black to be. Plain and simple. And it's very evident that we're getting ready to actually ramp into, based off of the solicitations for Radiant Black, we are getting close to ramping into what we actually wanted Radiant Black to be, which is this cosmic multiversal giant robot war. Looks like that's coming. But that being said, putting that aside, Infernal Girl Red is what I wanted Radiant Black to be. It's cosmic, it's Power Ranger-esque, but the Japanese Power Ranger style. And it's got constant motion and intrigue, and the story and the imagery and the flow of the comic is just better than Radiant Black. So on that merit alone, I want to recommend that you go read Infernal Girl Red. I think it's really fun. Yes. We learn the identity of the original Infernal Girl Red. We learn, our main character loses her mother. She gets teleported into some weird dimension. We get a new form of Infernal Girl Red. She gets a costume change and a power up. Freaking cool. And the other reason why this book is amazing, because we do a Sailor Moon pose where when she transforms, she does the and I'm like, got me, sold, done, let's do it. So I don't know when the next part comes out. Even the writers just stay tuned. So I'm sure we won't see this for at least a year until we get the next part, and I'm okay with that. But I had a good time with this. I had a silly goose time with it, and it was everything that I wanted Radiant Black to be. And I think Inferno Girl Red should be the pillar in which any book that is being written for the massive verse should be based off of. They should be taking notes, because currently for me, and I know I'm poo-pooing on it, but Radiant Black is just too damn boring. And it has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
The concepts of what is supposed to be there and what they want to do is there, but they just keep on talking about plain old Nate sitting at home because he's a failed writer. Get to the big robots, please. So
yeah, get to the space shit.
Seriously. And this book delivered on that. We got some crazy multiversal teleporting, other dimension action and character development and backstabbing. It was great, and I thought it was fun. So if you're looking for a new book that's obviously an independent, I would recommend Infernal Girl Red. It's really fun, and I think the character development alone is fantastic. But just it feels good. It reads well. It flows well. It's fun. So I can't recommend it enough. All right, I think this is our last book outside of the book that you want to talk about that wasn't on the list, and that's Vanish, issue number 5. I just feel like we're diving very deep into the subconscious of Donny Cates in this book. It's clear. Oh,
really? Donny Cates? Autobiographical in his book?
Yes, but it's very.
I just don't know.
Shut up! Listen, it's much more prominent in this book. It's clear that he was at the
more prominent than God Country?
100%. It's clear that either he was writing this right before or during what he's dealing with right now.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying now.
We're dealing with a character that can't tell what reality is. And he is being fucked with in the mind in this issue. So and even as a reader, you're like, oh shit, should I put in doubt the entire concept and reality of Vanish in this book? That's what Donnie does in this book. He makes you feel like, wait, so what we witnessed in the first 4 issues, did that really happen? Or were we hallucinating? Yeah. So shit got real in the book. I can't remember though. Oh yeah, no. You know, I'm not going to spoil it to what reality really is, but our main character may have just lost his wife. And if we thought he went berserk after, you know, just being crazy, you know, with the current situation, well, the way it gets delivered is pretty crazy. You know, I was expecting more vengeance on the part of the main character, but ever since issue 4, it's been nonstop. You know, last issue, it has been nonstop losing. We are losing characters left and right, and I think at some point our main character will lose his shit. Like, is going to lose his shit in a very hardcore way. I heard this was a homage to Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode. Well, if it was, I didn't watch that. So, but I liked it. I genuinely liked it. And again, this is my slice of Donnie, right? We don't have Donnie in anything else, so it's very welcoming for me because we don't have any other Donnie Cates right now in our pool until he announces something. So overall, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Nice.
Joe with a... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, I didn't realize this was the start of a new arc.
Yep. Joe coming in with the last question of the night, and it is, I've seen a lot of older comics and they look well read. So question is today's comics don't hold the read value? Do y'all reread your books multiple times, or is it one and done? You answer first.
I would say that 80% are probably not going to get read again. Only about 20% are going to get read again, and those are the best of the best. And honestly, those are the ones that I'll probably continue to hold on to. I haven't done it yet, but I recently did an audit of my single issues. I have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 18 short boxes right now of single issues. And I am only keeping 8 of them. I have 10 that are specifically going to the shop that are out.
Yeah.
So if that kind of gives you any sort of idea, and some of those are just because they're sentimental. Like, say, I have all of my Far Sector books in there, which I have every single variant for and every single printing of. But if I ever want to read it again, I'm just going to grab the trade paperback off. I'm not going to grab my floppies.
Yeah.
Unless I want to see the covers, but I'm probably going to keep those in nice condition just because they're important to me.
Right.
Or same thing with like maybe Last God, Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Right.
I got the really nice hardcover. I'll read that, but my single issues I'll probably keep in there. But yeah, I would say only 20% are probably getting reread.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think if it's I'm in the same boat. If I'm going to reread, if it's a reread, it's so important that I probably picked it up either in hardcover or trade.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, my Silver Surfer Black, Demon Day Wars, which you got me for my birthday, House of X, any of the House, like, big events, so House of X, Powers of X, shit, even Sword, or Donny Cates' Cosmic Universe, Secret Wars, even Thanos' Donny Cates. You know, those are where I would reread it. I would.
Thanos is Donny Cates?
Yeah.
You mean Donny Cates Thanos?
No, it just says Thanos by Donny Cates.
I know. Never mind.
I know I said it wrong.
Check it,
All right, tell me about the book that you were like, oh yeah, put this on the show.
You didn't put it on the show.
I don't even remember. What is it? You should show me.
I sent it to you, so you
show
can put
me
it on
that.
the show.
No, I want you to do the like. Oh, look at this.
So I got this. This is The Curse of Cleaver County. This is a Source Point book. I don't know that we've ever had a Source Point book on the show before. They don't do a ton of stuff, and a lot of what they do is horror related. I actually picked this up.
Yeah, is this the book that you picked up at Mansfield that like they had like they knew the writer or something like that? Oh, okay.
No, I actually picked this up because I was looking for something else, and this was like in the way. And when I moved it out of the way, I like grabbed it and it fell open, and I saw the art and was like, "Oh, I like that. What is this book?" And then I saw that it was a horror comic in some fashion, so I was like, "Okay, this seems pretty neat." And it's pretty good, but I wanted to cover it because of the art. I think the art is really, really fun. Kit Wallace is the artist, and the book starts out with like a really annoying desk guy, like a boss sitting behind a desk, yelling at his secretary to like do shit for him, and she's like kind of doing it, but then he eventually is like too rude, and she's just like "fuck you," and then leaves. It's like late at night, like they're obviously working past normal hours, and like this guy just seems like a total asshole, and he goes out to throw he asked her to take out the garbage, and she's like, "I'm not, the janitor, I'm not taking out your fucking garbage," and she leaves. And so he's like, fuck, I gotta take out the garbage myself. And so he goes and he takes it out, and he goes out there and he hears like children whispering out in the alley, but then all of a sudden something grabs him around the neck and
Oh shit!
explodes his brain.
No, thank you.
Explodes him. He gets exploded.
Exploded.
He gets exploded. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? And then the rest of it is following a character that we don't know until the very, very end, but it turns out it's his sister with her friends going to their house for some event. And that was her brother that got his face squished. Apparently, there's some hoity-toity, super rich people that live in this county, Cleaver County, of course. And right as they show up, they're like, "Oh, where's your brother? We haven't heard from your brother. Where's he at?" And then there's a cop at the door that's like, "I got bad news for you." And so then in the next issue, we're gonna learn the actual curse of this county and how it directly ties to this family. Like the story was good, just pretty good, but the art was just really compelling for me. And I'm a sucker for independent work that doesn't get a lot of attention, and for really, really good art. So I'll pick up the second issue. I'll let y'all know how it is. But if you're interested in an independent book from a not very well-known publisher, Source Press, The Curse of Cleaver County, it's very much a hack and slash if you like Jason film.
What if this book doesn't really exist, and it like you were at the comic book store and you were like, I'm trying to find get this book out. It opened up and it's like a cursed book, like like what if we go look and it's like not there? What if you just like broke space time?
Somebody tell me that that's not. Joe. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Okay, go for it.
Well, there's a few that I missed before. Stefan said, "Choose Your Own Adventure Deadpool by Al Ewing had the most replay value." Also referencing old data pages from Random X books. Oh, I did not know there was such a thing as a Choose Your Own Adventure Deadpool book by Al Ewing, but
yeah, seriously.
The fuck? I need that. Joe said he just did a big reread on 8 billion in last issue. I need to do the same because I actually have 6 or 7. So I might as well just reread the whole damn thing to get prepped for issue 8 for the finale. Because in my brain that book has fallen off. So
no, I've only heard good things.
I need to pick it back up.
Only good things.
Yeah, what were we talking?
The rest, I think they're talking about the Buffy stuff.
Oh, by the way, Joe, Slice of Life. You want a good Slice of Life book? I'll give you the best recommendation. So we've covered a couple of her books on the show before. Zoe Thorogood. I believe the last one we covered was Rain, which was not that great of a book, but she was the artist, not the writer. This is It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth. This is her autobiographical graphic novel. So this wasn't released in single issues. It was just released as a graphic novel. But this is 100% slice of life. Her writing about like a time period in her life, and it is very slice of life. It does get a little bit dark. It does get a little bit headspacey, and the art changes frequently, which is really interesting because it's her way of playing with different art styles that are, not just unique to her own style, but like, her doing radically different styles as well.
Right.
But to me, it's very, very like slice of life, get in the mind of an individual. Yeah, it's very good. So
nice.
So Thorogood.
Joe asks a very important question. He goes,
Okay.
"Who do you think will take over Captain America or Captain Marvel next? Kelly Thompson deserves a A-list book next." I couldn't agree more.
You know who should have, if it hadn't been Jed Mackay, should have been Kelly Thompson.
For Avengers. Ooh, dude, stop it.
That would have been good.
Ooh, stop it. Yeah,
Get
she
her
would
to
have
do a re-team up of the A-Force as.
Well, you know what Kelly Thompson's gonna write next.
I have no idea.
It's gonna be an X book.
Okay.
It's gonna be an X book.
I'd be okay with that.
I mean, what X book it is, I don't know, but she's gonna write an X book. She basically already did in this last arc with Captain Marvel and the Brood.
Okay.
Now I'm writing down suggestions down, like a good, easy to read after a long week.
That's the first volume of that. I need to read that.
What is
I
it?
have a bad habit of these Image volume ones. They're only $10, and at the half price, they're only $5.
Oh shit!
How do you pass up a number one
yeah.
independent for $5? It's hard to do. But
Yeah. The other thing I would say, if you're looking to get into manga, I don't know if this is just happening here in the DFW area for all Barnes and Nobles are doing this right now, but for the past week and a half, going into the second week, they've been doing buy one get one 50% off. So if you're looking to jump into manga right now, go hit up Barnes and Noble because they're doing that. Like, that's pretty crazy. Even if you're just looking for new number ones, and then after you get into it, if you like it, you can go to your LCS and just be like, hey, order 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go on down the road. So check that out. All right, well, that's gonna do it for issue 125 or episode 125 of Two Fat Guys Pull Us. I think Joe said it earlier. If you've not already, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Ring that bell. Do not ever miss a new Two Fat Guys Pull Us video. We will see you guys next week on our new Comic Book Day video, which drops at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesdays. So you can get a little bit of an idea of what you want to go look at for Wednesday. Kind of like to put that out a little earlier so everybody knows, like, hey, this is what we should be looking for. So yeah, check it out on Tuesdays, and then again, we'll be live next week for we'll be reviewing our new Comic Book Day video, our books from that video. God, I can't talk. I'm tired. So be prepared for that. We appreciate every single one of y'all that have been on here watching us live, and we appreciate every single one of you that are watching this as a past episode. We love hanging out with y'all. So make sure to obviously hit that like button, subscribe, and bell. And we'll see you guys next week. Yeah, that's about it. Let's just we gotta do it. I gotta go to bed. I'm freaking turd. I'm so sleepy.
You're a turd.
I'm turd. I'm not a turd. I'm
No. I said what I said.
Okay, I said what I said. We'll see you guys later. Oh, by the way, thank you guys. You keep me motivated to keeping up on my poll. John, thanks, man. No, we do it. We literally do the show just for you. Like we are doing this just for you.
It also helps me keep up with my poll.
Yeah, 100%. No, for sure. But no, I mean, that's what we do this. We love hanging out with y'all and talking about comics. And we're trying to fill that void of other channels that are just kind of Debbie Downers. We want to uplift the community and engage the community. So we appreciate that, John. We will see you guys next week. As always, fam, be kind to one another and read more comics. Later, guys.